What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige at the Page, and this is the start of my Read It or Unhaul It challenge. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. This is the start of a weekly vlog where I'm going to be pulling books out of that jar and then reading them or unhauling them. I will be doing this first week of January because Happy New Year! It is just past midnight on the 1st of January and I wanted to come on and start this vlog, although I'm not reading tonight. And so the first week will be public and then I'm going to do a second week for my patrons. I'll jump to the footage of me pulling it in my January TBR. I think I'm going to pull the first book now because we've randomized so much shit and this is definitely going to help clear down my TBR as well, but this is sort of the priority, so I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, I feel very good about this choice. I'm going to pull out my first book for the Read It or Unhaul It series, and then from there, once I've read that, I will continue to pick books throughout the weeks. Oh my gosh, this is so nervous and so exciting. Okay, let's go with this one. Shit, I'm so scared. I didn't think I was going to be this nervous starting this series. Here you go. What have we got? Oh! Okay. Let's just throw another spanner in the works, shall we? I hope you get this message by Farah Nazarishi. I don't know anything about this, so it could go either way if I just binge read it and really enjoy it, or I start reading it and realize that it's not for me and I DNF and unhaul it for my first read of 2025. Yeah, I mean, last year I chose to start my year on House of Sky and Breath, so this will hopefully be better than that. But I just wanted to come on and I will start reading when I wake up, but for now I'm going to bed. But I just wanted to come on and say Happy New Year! I know we'll be well into the new year by the time you see this, but you know, it's a thought that counts. See you in the morning. Bye! So I ended up getting to page 212 of I Hope You Get This Message today. I got to it just before Mum came up at 2 and it's now 11 PM. And I cooked dinner and then trimmed some of our hedges along the side of our house. Quite late at night I did exposure therapy and I did yoga. So I have had a severely productive day. Obviously being the first, I wanted to start everything off on the right foot. So I think reading over 200 pages, doing all the things, very proud. In terms of this book, it is very interesting in the sense that I read 15% this morning and then put it down and could have very easily left it down and just DNF'd it and unhauled it. Since continuing on, I'm glad that I did, but I don't think it's going to be like a new favorite read. I'm really worried about some of the mental health representation in this because there is a particular mental illness that gets a really bad rap, and I'm nervous because we're dealing with aliens. So it's going to be the ending that will make that the deciding factor for me, but it's not my own mental illness, so I'm not own voices reviewing it in that form, but it's just I'm curious. In terms of the other representation, we have LGBT rep, we have Muslim rep. Each of the perspectives that we're following, Jessie, Kate and Adim, have very interesting takes. Their paths are slowly converging and I'm really curious to see how it ends and where it decides to go. But I'm also aware of the fact that it's a YA and I don't know if it's gonna stick the landing or not. So we shall see. So I've decided to just continue on with this and finish it rather than DNF it. But I think as we go throughout this year, I may get a little bit more critical about what I continue on with or not. But currently this is a good, interesting read, but it's not mind-blowing, and I really hope it goes in a way that will blow me out of the water. So that's my 50% check-in. Hopefully I will actually get footage of my week as I'm going and remember to take photos of food that I cook. So then there is documentation that I have been cooking, but I cooked. I made cutlet sausages, chips, pasta and veggies, and it went well. And yes, tomorrow I'm gonna get up and finish off the hedges in daylight and then go out to lunch with the old man and hopefully get a little bit more reading in. I'd love to be able to finish this. I think I have an hour and a half left. I definitely could have finished it today, but just chose not to. And I just want to watch YouTube. So I'm going to continue watching YouTube until I go to bed and then see where we get up to tomorrow. So I will check in with you then. Bye! Hello my darlings. So I have just finished. I hope you get this message, but Mum's offered to draw it, but she doesn't want to be on camera. So I'm just putting it in and I will come back with what she's selected. As long as it's not over 1,000 pages, I'll be fine. Okay, here we go. I've got it here. Ah! I'm so nervous. Let's go that way. I swear to God. What does that say? Circle of Shadows. Okay, so I think that's Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky? Is that? Ooh! Well, the TBR jar is determined to get me to read the Owl Crate books. Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky. I know nothing about this. Is it a sci-fi? Zora can move as silently as a ghost and hurl throwing stars with lethal accuracy. A Gemini Damon. Okay, let's give it a go. It's 451 pages. Sorry, exciting. I will come back and tell you my thoughts on, I hope you get this message. I was just so excited to pull out from the jar. Okay, bye! Hello my darlings. I did it. I finished I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Nazarishi, and I'm giving this, I'm tossing up between a 3 and a 3.5. I think 3.5. The mental illness that was portrayed by one of the side characters wasn't explored at the ending, so I'm okay with that. I think that was the best choice to be able to do that with this book, but the ending for me was a little lackluster, so that's why it's not a higher rating. I'm also trying to be a little bit more critical with my reads this year, but also understanding that I'm not the target demographic for this. This is definitely a YA, but all of the different elements that it explores, I think it does it really well. And I think that a teenager who's interested in space and having some of their own problems would find this very valuable. But for me, as an adult, having read many YA books in my life, it just doesn't hold the same weight. So whilst I enjoyed it, it was my first read of 2025, which I'm super happy with, and I think I will probably be unhauling this just because I don't feel the need to hold on to it, and I think someone else, like I said, a teenager, would actually really value having this story. I did like how everything finalized, how the 3 very, very different parts work together. Some of it was foreshadowed really well and I just didn't pick up on it until I was like, oh, and then yeah, things started clicking. So when that started happening, it was a really good feeling, and I feel like it was at an appropriate place in the plot to have those things start to click. Maybe some people would have got it sooner than I did, but for me, it started clicking about 3/4 of the way through. I think that was a good time for it to start happening. So some things I saw coming, some things I didn't. I just wish the ending had been a little bit stronger. That's my first read for 2025 down, and my first read it or unhaul it. Mum then pulled Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky. I'm hoping this leans like, oh, is this a fairy loot? Oh my bad, this is fairy loot. An Ember in the Ashes. I don't know, potentially. I'm just that would be great. I probably won't start this tonight, I'll just continue watching YouTube, but this is next on the list. I'm conflicted because I don't want to just unhaul it because mum picked it and also my friend gave it to me. But the more episodes of these I do, the more stringent I'm going to be with this unhauling aspect of it. But yeah, those were my thoughts and I'll check in with you tomorrow. Bye! Hello my darlings. So it is now 11 PM on the 3rd of January and I am halfway through Circle of Shadows. So I'm up to page 225 and I'm enjoying this. The magic system is very interesting. It's not really explored at all, but I'm hoping that we're going to get some more info because a different form of magic has been incorporated at this 50% mark, but we don't really have much of an understanding about the original magic system as well. The family dynamics in this is very interesting and I'm very curious to see how that is going to progress, but I don't want to mention which family dynamics because that could be potentially spoiler territory. But I'm really loving the friendship between the Gemini, which is our main protagonist Sora and Damon, and this will be completing Amy's viewer prompt for their TBR because this is actually the 5th lowest rated book on my TBR, but I'm enjoying it. So yes, I don't really know where we're going to go. There is a lot of different threads happening and I'd be curious to know how many books are going to be in this series. Only 2 have been published, but the second one doesn't say that it is the conclusion to the duology. It just says the next book in the series. So I don't know, but I still feel like we're going to have a lot more development in this last 50%, and overall I'm enjoying it. Didn't get up to too much today. Mum and I went out to Bunnings and yeah, that was pretty much my day. Tomorrow is going to be very busy. We have my grandpa coming around for morning tea, then going to an open house, then going to lunch with him, and then got another open house in the afternoon. And then on Sunday we have 2 open houses as well. Lots going on, but with that I'm gonna go to bed because I'm exhausted, but I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye! I finished my book.
Good girl. Where'd you get this jar from?
Big W. Came up. I'm so nervous. Oh! That's a change of pace. That's definitely a change of pace, but that's hilarious. I got the Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. I'll be back. Hello my darlings. So it is now 11:35 on the 4th of January and as you would have seen I finished Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky, and so I got my mum to pull another book from the TBR jar. I'm giving Circle of Shadows 3.5 stars as well. It was the first book in a fantasy series that I've read. I enjoyed the dynamics between Sora and Damon, who are our protagonists, and their friendship with Fairy and Broomstick. Yes, I am aware the names are very interesting, but the plot moved pretty consistently. It had a lot of character growth in 450 pages, so it was a good read, but I don't think it's going to stick with me, and I did deliberate if I was going to continue on with the second book in the duology, Cloak of Night, I think. And I think I will, so I'm adding it to the series spreadsheet, but I might reflect on that at the end of the year and just go, And with having to read the second book in a series as one of my reading goals for this year, that I either need to make it a priority and actually read it, or say, no, I'm going to DNF the series. So that could be quite an interesting turn of events. But speaking of first books in series, my mum pulled the Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams, and I am so excited to dive into this. The reason I haven't is because I don't have access to the audiobook, and the Libby hold will take 2 weeks to come in. So there was very much a lot of pouting happening to Mum and Ash being like, please, can we pull another book? But The stipulations of this challenge are I need to read it or I need to unhaul it. So I'm going to attempt to start physically reading it tomorrow. It is a romance, so I feel like it's going to fly by so super quickly, and I have been dying to get to this, so I'm very, very excited to be finally picking this one up. But with that, I need to go to sleep, so I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye! Hello! So, I don't think I did a 50% check-in for Bromance Book Club, but I've just finished it, so I need to get that jar and go get Ash. I'm so excited! And we have some very big news. Big.
Like the jar.
Like the jar. I know, because I like panned down to it. I'll give that to you. Big jar.
Big jar.
It's kind of overwhelming how many options there is, isn't it?
That one feels nice.
Feels nice? What should be like fucking crime and punishment?
Fucking it'll be something over 1,000 pages. It's going under. Read it or unhaul it.
I was literally gonna unhaul it.
No!
I was gonna unhaul it last year, but didn't, so then I could contribute it to unhauling it this year. I'm gonna unhaul it.
Unhaul it.
Yeah. That's good. You got it out. And you
That's
get
part of the big news.
Oh yeah.
Oh. 2. Left or right?
Right. I said that with zero hesitation and I regret everything.
The start of me and you.
Excellent. And not the first book in a series.
Oh.
That's good. No, I'm actually so excited to read that though. That I'm my heart is hurting a little at the first books in series, but I'm happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. That one works.
Setting up your TBR for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
To finish it.
Come on. You can focus. You can do it. Nope. Would you please hold this?
Holding.
Thank you.
Do I need to do the ASMR thing?
Can I keep that in?
Yes.
Excellent. Beautiful. I love that so much.
Love.
Loop. So, our little big news is we will be moving sometime at the end of January, beginning of February, into our home that we bought! Ah!
We bought a house.
We bought a house. We like this house. I get to paint a wall!
And thanks to all the bookish peeps for giving her hobbies, because now DIY has become a hobby.
Should I try build the awning?
No, we will get professionals to do that.
I'm a professional. It's so fluffy.
It is very fluffy.
But yes, we bought a house and we're very excited.
Yes.
Well, the offer has been accepted today. So we still have to do all the
We still got to go through all the legal stuff and
actually pay it.
paperwork and the finance is already covered.
Yeah.
But all the legality of it, we've got to go through, and inspections and you know all the good fun stuff.
But yes,
it's in the process.
it's in the process.
Oh.
I'm too much limb, not enough body.
Too much limb, not enough torso.
So yes, and so basically if there is any book that I can unhaul to
in this interim period
to make it a little bit easier for us with moving, more than happy to do that. And that one I should have unhauled it at the end of last year, but I didn't, so.
Hey, it's really helping with the whole, not the shit principle, but do I want it to be in our new house principle?
Yeah, I like that principle. That helps.
Yeah.
So, yes, I will go get my book together and then we can have more of a bookish chat, but.
Yes, less chaotic chat with me.
excited. Hello. So I ended up falling down a rabbit hole, but I have the books. First things first, I read the Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams and gave this 5 stars. I was kicking my feet, I was squealing. The sex scenes in it, there were moments where I was like, Gavin, you fucking idiot. But then next minute I'm adoring him, and just some of the quotes on it was just fucking glorious. And I really appreciated how, whilst the Cataclysm is following from the male protagonist and like his wife hasn't orgasmed in years and she's been faking it, and then, you know, it comes to light that she has, and he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, how are you obtuse for only just now realizing it? But then it's not just him. It is the two sides to the relationship, which I adored. And basically they read romance books to understand women, to then be able to communicate with them better, so then they in turn open up to them to have a better relationship. Glorious, so glorious. I had so much fun reading this. It sits in the feelings of just, yes. I really adored this, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. So, winner chicken dinner, and now I need to find a book that's comp to this to read it for Amy's challenge for Bookish Peeps. So that's going to be interesting, but definitely doable. I don't know what is like this. I know there's obviously bookish books and romance books, but this I feel is quite a unique take on romance. But winner. So then Ash pulled out Going Under by Sonia Henry, and this came up in my randomly generated TBR for December, and it was to read this or An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, and I decided to go with that. I didn't even end up reading it, but I felt no draw to this. So this is a work of fiction, and it's looking at a doctor getting into one of Sydney's best teaching hospitals, and then looking at being a trainee female medic and the realities of being a doctor, which is what drew me in the first place. But I just kept not picking this up, not feeling any desire to it, and whenever I was looking at my shelves, I'd glance over it more often than not. So when it came up, it was, I'm either going to read this now or I have to unhaul it. So it's going to be unhauled. So then Ash pulled again, and of course we got the first book in another series. The Start of Me and You by Emery Lord. Now, I'm not sure I love these covers so much. Cool, okay. So I was checking if this was following page or if they were companion like the Spinster Sisters, but it is a follow-on. So this is following Paige Hancock, and her boyfriend passed away in a freak accident. And so now she's trying to re-find her spark in life. And I've read 60 pages. I need to read 70 to continue hitting the 200 pages a day goal. So the next chapter's at page 81, so I can try. I'd really like to, but it is also 11:15 at night, and my brain is starting to switch off. So, case in point. But I'm enjoying this so far. There've been a few good quotes, and I'm just really having fun just tabbing up my books as I'm going. Like, I'm not highlighting them, but I'm flagging them for me, and I'm really enjoying that. So yes, I really enjoyed Emery Lord's When We Collided, so I have been meaning to pick these up for ever and a day. These are ones that I got before I started my booktube channel, and so I'd like to continue reading this because I'm having a grand time with it. And the audiobook was on Audible. I think I got it for a daily deal, so thrilled with that because I couldn't find it on Libby. Speaking of, my audiobook for the Bromance Book Club came in yesterday, so I ended up getting to listen to this and not having to read it physically. So yeah, that worked out most fortuitously. Read 60 pages, really enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read, but like, this series has just been an exciting thing because When We Collided was, I'm not sure if it was the best representation, but it was representation of bipolar disorder, and I really resonated with it at the time that I read it. I'm not bipolar, just ADHD or ADHD, diagnosed, riddled with anxiety. It's great, but the way that it was portrayed with that was wonderful. And then seeing that they had done another book and the protagonist was Paige, I was just like, yes. So that is my little story for this one. But I'm gonna go and read another 10 pages, fingers crossed, and then watch some YouTube and go to bed, because it's been a big day. Lots of emotions. I drove to one of our other offices, which was 45 minutes one way. So I had that today. That was actually like a really smooth run. It was quite a nice time. So I sang my lungs out there and then squealed my lungs driving home. And yes, Ash and I ended up driving past our new place. It's still so surreal. And so I need to unhaul as much shit as humanly possible that I don't want to take into our new home. Like, I think whilst I have the shelf space, for me, I can also think about it how Ash sort of phrased it of, is this worth going into our new home? And I think that will really help me pare down our collection as well, so that we're continuing to foster my shelves being a reflection of books that I love. And yes, so gonna continue on with this for the next little minute and then see where I got up to. But I am very tired and I'm ready to call it for a night. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye. Hello my darlings. So it is now 11:15 on the 7th of January and I need to wrap up this vlog. So I do feel bad because I haven't quite finished The Start of Me and You by Emery Lord. According to Audible, I have 40 minutes left, but I'm not going to try and push to get through it tonight because I've made a massive dent and read over 200 pages tonight already. So this is the last thing we pulled from the jar, The Start of Me and You. I got to page 312 and at the moment I'm thinking it's going to be a 4-star read. I am really enjoying seeing Paige's character development and their relationships, and whilst it's angsty, the level of grief, it makes sense. I'm really enjoying it. I'm very excited to finish it tomorrow. Then before that we pulled Going Under by Sonia Henry and I'm just going to unhaul this without reading it. Before that I pulled The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams and gave this 5 stars. This was such a fun read. I cannot wait to continue on with the series. I didn't know how much I needed to read romance books about men reading romance books. And with this being my first 5-star read of the year, I will need to find a book that's comp to it to read for Amy's Bookish Peeps challenge. But I have also done Core Pile and that came out as a 4.5. But because my enjoyment was a 10, I'm bumping it up to a 5-star because that's the feeling that feels right for me. Then I had Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky and gave this 3.5. This is an interesting start to a duology, I believe. So I need to continue on with this series within this year, or I will be DNFing the series. So I need to make it a priority because my goal is to read the second books in series, but with it being a duology, done and dusted. So if I haven't picked up the second book by the end of the year, then it's not enough of a priority to keep it on my actively reading shelf. And then the first thing we read for this challenge was I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naz Rishi, and also gave this 3.5. This was a really interesting contemporary sci-fi and I had a really good time with it. The storylines, the way that they merged, was definitely the redeeming factor for me. But overall, I'm glad that I read it. So this sounds like that much is the stack that I read this week, which is 1,523 pages. And this is what's coming off the physical TBR. So I'm already under 200 books for our collective TBR. I'm so happy. So with that, I am jumping straight into doing another week of this, but it will be just going up for my Patreons. So I'm going to pull a slip and see, and that will be the next book that I read. But I just want to give a teaser to those who are going to be watching for what they have to look forward to upcoming. So here she is. Ah! I'm so scared. Let's go with that one. I can't even read it. Alright, what is it? Well, that's a choice. That is Treasure Island. Why is it that I'm the only one pulling standalones? Well, I can't unhaul it either because it's a cloth-bound classic of Ashes. That's going to be an interesting start tomorrow once I finish the start of me and you, but that's what we're doing. Ash and I are looking at every night working at one little section in our house to get ready for moving. So we did our hall cupboard and our linen cupboard tonight, and he did chest of drawers with his old clothes. I'm so proud of what we have got accomplished, so we're going to continue doing that as well. But yes, this is the end of my first Read It or Unhaul It series, and I'm so excited. It went so well. I am so motivated to keep reading, so I'm happy to be doing one more weekend, and I think I'm going to need to tap out. So yes, let me know in the comments anything you want to let me know, whether it be about the books that I've read this week or your thoughts on the challenge. If you have anything you would like to add into the mix, I'd greatly appreciate hearing all of your comments. And yeah, like I said, feel free to leave anything you want to let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!